Hi, confess honestly. You looked at Harry Potter as a kid too, in his magical mantle, and creepily jealous. What would this girl tell you? That being invisible isn't really that cool, as it may seem at first glance. And how did she become her and what happened next? Now tell. Holly grew up the middle child in the family. Their older sister Vanessa was responsible for the beauty, and for my little brother Troy. Holly same it seemed that it doesn't have enough of either. The only person who was genuinely interested in her hobbies and thoughts. There was a mom, but mom got dramatically sick when Holly was 12 and died suddenly. Then they completely stopped paying attention to the girl. At the table, the father did not ask about her business, and brother and sister ignored. But soon it spread to the rest of my life. Holly stopped getting noticed even at school, and one fine morning she just disappeared. Many years have passed, and Holly learned to lead a quite ordinary life, with its a little feature. Now she lives in a rented apartment alone, and at night goes to work. Most often it's nightclubs, where's the girl peeps someone else's lives, and then leaks the photos. Local journalists for a lot of money. Her brother Troy still lives at her father's house, true in the basement, where he equipped a movie studio and shoots weird, experimental films featuring feet of passing women. Vanessa got married, and still obsessed with her own appearance. On Fridays the family still goes to dinners, and Holly is also present on them. True, no one about this doesn't know. As usual goes on shift at the club. She follows famous people and follows them to the private area. But suddenly something happens. Hey, bouncer kicks Holly out of club and does not answer her strange questions. Girl is so shocked. What was it? Thinks if it became normal. But another security comes outside. Who is she trying to talk to? It becomes clear that he still does not see her. As before, Holly comes across a newspaper with a photo. Her authorship, she understands that in the picture is the same bouncer from the club. Turns out the guy's name is Shane Blackwell, and in the past he is a mixed martial arts world champion. Holly finds out that a few years ago, boyfriend started dating famous actress Juliana King, and for a while the couple was at the peak of fame. And then Shane got caught cheating, and soon he lost the fight to a famous rival at a mate. Fans turned away from him, and career quickly went downhill. Holly decides to head to the club again and watch out for Shane. At the service exit, she asks if he remembers her, and gives him the ill-fated newspaper. Finding out that a stranger was involved in the collapse of his career, Shane is even more mad and asks Holly to leave him alone. Then she says that could whitewash his reputation, rebuild career, and maybe even establish a relationship with Juliana. Shane and listen to this nonsense does not want, especially he is in a hurry to meet the agent. Then Holly insists, so he could take her with him, and promises to show him his abilities. To meet at the bar, the girl immediately sits on the counter next to the agent, and peeps at his phone all the time. He does not even pay attention to her, so Holly quickly figures out and is allowed to comment. That partner throws Shane on money, gives for the match much less, then gets really not understanding what is happening. Shane runs out of the bar and asks for an explanation. Girl talking that he is the first person in her life who is able to see her. Shane doesn't believe a word she says, and then she decides on more extreme methods. Beliefs. Guy understand. That driver didn't see the girl. Like she said, he softens and says that ready to chat with her. The next morning at his house, they meet and Holly presents his theory to him. In her opinion, the same spell was imposed on them, and only the two of them can help each other get it off. Soon she finds confirmation of her guesses. Turns out that at the age of 13, Shanna, kicked out of the house by the mother's boyfriend, and he felt abandoned since childhood. Exactly also felt and Holly when her mother died. In the end though, Shane is taking girl help and invites her to an underground fight. Where is he performing? Holly is not thrilled with the place where all this happens and marvels at the winner's tiny fee. Just $300. Girl talking that Shane deserves more and promises to find him better rivals and bigger competitions. Some days Holly studying portfolio of the coolest fighters and decides to start with the famous thug Suarez. She sneaks into his house, takes pictures of steroids in his kitchen, and sends him a pic of the pills, sitting a couple meters away from his victim. Girl talking that will give the picture to journalists if he does not fulfill her conditions. From Suarez's house she goes to Shane, who the agent is just calling. He reports that agreed to kill by the coolest rival. Suarez and Shane understands who is behind this. Preparation for an important fight begins, in which Suarez is a clear favorite. But the guy is training like ever, and in the process getting closer to Holly. He invites her to a fight, but she says that being in a crowd is dangerous for her and refuses. Then he offers to watch the match at his house and wait for it. Holly agrees, and before that runs to visit Vanessa to borrow from an unsuspecting sister blouse and lipstick. The fight goes very hard. At the very beginning, Shane almost gives up, but he still stands the onslaught of the enemy for 3 rounds, and then unexpectedly does a pain grab and forces an opponent give up. Right after the fight, Shane goes home, bumping into an annoying journalist on the way, and calls Holly to sit on the roof. They are eating that ice cream, look at the moon, and chat. Shane shares experiences with the girl. Doesn't he go crazy and ask, is she really real? Holly almost gets offended, and then the guy kisses her. Exactly at this point, with stares peeps journalist camera, who manages to take a picture, but there is nothing to worry about. Holly will still not be visible in this pic, like no matter how. Shane gives press conference in conjunction with its next rival, Smug Tommy Bones. He says that Shane is poorly prepared and will probably give up in the first round, but Blackwell journalists ask not about the match at all and about the mysterious girl from the photo. Some think that this is the same Juliana King with which they are back together. Shane refuses to comment on this issue. After interview, Holly sneaking into Tommy's limo and sends him a message in attaching a pic with him, his fin, and her underwear. Holly writes that the girl in the picture is 16 and attaches her ID card. She offers Tommy a deal. Finally comes the hour of an important bout. Shane fighting against Tommy, who won 10 consecutive wins, but that doesn't stop him crushing on Smug Athlete. After a resounding victory, Holly proposes to her boss journalist exclusive videos from Shane's workout, but he refuses. No one is interested in successful guys. Then she passes him supposedly insider info about Shane's upcoming rematch by Satilla Matt. News gets to Matt fast, and at first he doesn't like it at all. However, the agent convinces him that a repeated victory will only consolidate the status of champion, and the athlete agrees. Holly spends the whole day in the Matt apartment trying to find dirt, but unsuccessfully. The next morning, the girl goes to her sister to return the jacket and sees that she cries in the bathroom with a pregnancy test in her hands. She doesn't get it. Why is Vanessa not happy? But can't do anything. Juliana, meanwhile, unexpectedly calls Shane to a bar and flirts with him. In the middle of their meeting at the bar, Holly appears. The girl sees what happens, gets mad, and runs away. Couple swearing. Holly sure that ex just uses Shane, and he asks to understand him too. He can't date a non-existent girl. These words hurt Holly, and she says that I did not find compromising material on it. So then Shane will have to deal with himself. Guys are having a major fight. Holly locks at home, sees on TV that the guy resumed his romance with Juliana, blues, and quits his job. But one day Shane still comes to visit her. He says that with Juliana they broke up. Not at all because of that picture. Yes, and first fight with Otila, he lost solely through his own fault. Girl understand, which is why her curse still hasn't lifted. It's something else. Then Shane offers her a different look at that. What happened to Holly after her mother died? Maybe the family didn't leave her at all. Maybe something else. Girl can't believe this audacity. Not only that the most important person left her life, after which no one needed her. So there's also Shane hinting, as if it was her own fault. Holly is left alone again. She constantly thinks about her family, and it seems gradually begins to remember something. One day she goes to Vanessa's house again and sees that she does a pregnancy test for the 3rd time, and then hides it from her husband. Holly kicking the trash can, and the test falls out right in front of her brother-in-law. The guy is happy, and Vanessa starts crying. She shares horror with her husband, which she had to endure after the death of her mother, and how is she scared to have her own kids? Suddenly Holly understands that the family tragedy left a strong imprint, not only on her. Later Holly goes to the house to his brother. She's looking through his movies, which used to be considered strange, and sees beauty in them, and also footage with mom. Holly notices that there is a girl in the footage, which Troy most often shoots. At the same moment, she walks past the window, and the girl decides to help her brother get to know her, putting a stranger on the bandwagon. Next, the girl goes to her father. She sees a whole collection of sleeping pills in his bedroom and realizes that he sits at the monitor all day, not from much love for work, but to drown out the alarm. Girl also notices that he still keeps his mom's paintings and walks to her grave with flowers every anniversary. Holly realizes that all members of her family were hard to endure the loss. She was waiting so hard for support from others that she completely forgot how to support. Headstrong girl runs to the court, where Shane will have a fight with Matt. The beginning of the bout she misses, listening to him on the radio, so she finds out that the first 2 rounds Sweetheart spends in defense, and the 3rd one ends up with an injury altogether. Finally she arrives at the venue. Shane's position is getting worse by the second. He is 1 step away from defeat should he rise to his feet. How does he immediately get? A series of punches to the chest and chin, and then it falls again. After another exhausting round, Holly runs into the ring and tells Shane words of support, that he is a champion and is here by right. The invisible girl knows that he no longer sees or hears her, but still takes the guy by the hand. Suddenly Shane opens her eyes and looks directly at her. Holly runs out of the ring, and Shane returns to battle with new powers. He inflicts on the opponent series of lightning strikes and exhausts it, grabs in orchestra seats. Holly meanwhile gets dragged away from the ring and she realizes she stopped being invisible. A few seconds later, the referee stops the fight after winning Shane reception, and the judges announce their scores. By results of 5 rounds, fighters go nostril to nostril, but the victory still wins Matt. Broken by defeat, Shane leaves the ring. Julian tells him that he held up well, and the same one runs showering compliments Matt. Shane running in search of Holly, and literally snatches her out of the guard's hands. He realizes that she became real and confesses that broke up with Juliana. So the Holly curse is lifted forever. Now she found love, but that's only half the case. Left to learn to see other people's pain and grow up. But the first step has already been taken. At the end of story, a girl comes to her father and in tears cuddles with him. What do you think will happen next? Did Holly relatives really count too? What did she throw them? And if so, can they forgive her? Share in the comments your theories. Like this video and subscribe to the channel if you also appreciate a cool movie.